What's up, everyone? No, it's not Thursday. Nope, it's Sunday, actually. It's the last Sunday of the month. That means it's time for Brains and Brews. And of course, I am Joe the psychologist and my partner in crime, my beer brother, Ricky. How you doing tonight? Happy
What up, Joe the
Sunday.
psychologist? What's good, son? Oh, you cracked open your beer already? Nice.
Yeah, because this one out, when I explain the beer, you'll know why. But yes, I've cracked open mine already.
Nice, nice. Well, let's get the I gotta get the grooves going. Oh
Gotta get
yes.
going. So yes, it's Sunday night. If you are watching here on Horror Fiend TV, it is Brains and Brews. Apologize for the delay. Got to get yourself ready, and things were
When
kind
it's
of a little bit of
live,
a mess.
you but it's a technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
there's a few
Okay.
difficulties, so we apologize for that. We'll get better. Don't you worry. But yes, it's our show Sunday nights. We not every Sunday, but on the last Sunday. If this is your first time joining us, this is Brains and Brews. And for this show, what we do is obviously we're gonna discuss the brew that we're drinking and the movie that we're going to be discussing. So first up, let's go ahead and talk about these beers. I'll knock mine out the way real quick for you because, as I said, mine was cracked open. With summer coming up, I'm trying to find something that you can do at the pool, at the beach, and not be in your face on the sand, after 3 beers. So I've been looking for a couple all days, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm having right now. It's actually Liquid Aloha from
Liquid Aloha.
from the Big
Aloha.
Kona Company. Um, it's from Hawaii, obviously. It is a 4.4. It's not what I normally would drink. We do this, but no, part of this is to introduce the new beers.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes you need to find, something a little bit less just to make you feel good through the day. So, yeah, I was doing some yard work. I picked it up yesterday. It's light, crisp. It doesn't have like an aftertaste. It is one that honestly, while you're doing stuff outside, and if you have a hot dog, a hamburger,
My
fried
man said a
chicken.
hot dog.
Oh no, like I said, I had um, my husband wasn't home, so I had to take care of myself. So I grilled up some hot dogs, and it goes good with hot dogs too. But yeah, definitely, if you are looking this summer for something all day, or if you just really want to have something all day, this was pretty good. I'll give my rating at the end, but yes, the Big Kona Company Brewing, Liquid Aloha.
Liquid Aloha. I'll have to check it out. I'm getting into those all day IPAs when I drink early and throughout the day. They're not bad.
Yeah,
I got something different, man. I'll be honest. I was in a rush. I was in a last minute shopping. I just picked this up. I don't know any information off it, so I'm just gonna read the can. I just poured it now. It's from Rejects Beer Company. This is out of Rhode Island, so it's not too far. It's the RI Coastal Access IPA, 7.1 alcohol volume. This is a pint of beer. And again, I don't know too much about this. It's got a guy surfing here. I guess they surf in Rhode Island, right? I mean, I'm assuming they
I
do,
mean,
right?
it is. You get rocky ocean
You're a
over there.
beach
Not
guy,
rocky. I'm sorry. You
yeah.
get big waves over there.
But yeah, it's a Rhode Island beer company, so shout out to them. I'm gonna give it a shot. The only problem is, man, this beer is piss warm. I didn't have time to.
Oh
I didn't have time to
no.
throw it in the fridge, cause when you buy those beers, they're not in the fridge. They're on display. So, but hey, man, you know what they say? Piss poor beer, piss warm beer gets you fucked up. So, salute, brother.
Salute.
And it's a pint, so it's a lot. Well, it's a little more than I'm used to drinking in one setting here. Again, it's very warm. I don't like warm beer, dude. I'm just not a fan of it, so it's gonna kind of deter from my enjoyment. But it's not overwhelming. The taste is not overwhelming at all. I'm gonna take another sip. Hold on, cause it tastes very light. I like it.
Late is good.
Let's see how the night goes. But I can't put a finger on what I'm tasting, what my taste buds are experiencing right now. But it's fruity, but again, not overwhelming. It's kind of like it's not bitter or anything like that. Normally IPAs tend to be more on the bitter side, but yeah, we'll see how it
Well,
goes.
and no pun intended at all, but I like the fruity ones. I do like. I don't know.
Yeah,
For
man.
me, there's got to be. I
Yeah, yeah,
told you,
yeah.
there's got to be just that little flavor, man, because
Listen,
it counteracts the bitterness.
Adam M. I'm so excited. What up, son? Thank you for joining us, bro. Thank you for joining. And the fourth corner, Lexi Bennett. Hello, devilishly handsome beer brothers. Let's go, Brains and Brews. We got a good one tonight, folks. Hey, Rose, how are you? Hey, guys, Mama is here. Mama Rose. This is one of my favorite movies. This is a lot of people's favorite movies. Even if you're not into zombie films, this one has a very nice, strong cult following. Hello, Selena V. What's up?
Selena.
Hello to my favorite fellas. Rose once again chiming in. I'm drinking a nice cold ginger ale. Listen, I only drink water, beer, and ginger ale. That's it. I love ginger ale, man. And Lexi Bennett again. I got a mojito, aka no alcohol. Oh, right, yeah, that's all
All right,
good.
well, you can still cheers with those, and you can cheers with
Salute,
anything
salute.
actually. So salute.
Salute to Lexi and everyone else chiming in. Thank you for that. So Joe, what we talking tonight, brother? What we got?
Well, tonight we're going to be doing Shaun of the Dead. So let's go ahead and kick that in, Rick.
Let's do it. Let me get this set up here. If you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead, there's gonna be spoilers here, so
Oh, yeah.
forewarned. But if you haven't seen the movie, what are you doing here? Let's go. All right, brother, you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
It has been established persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
From Brooklyn to Manhattan, from Harlem to Queens, the zombies are taking over.
Widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life, seeking human victims.
No more room in hell. The dead walk here.
So yes, we're doing Shaun of the Dead. It was directed by Edgar Wright, written by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright, also starring Simon Pegg as Shaun, Kate Ashfield as Liz, Nick Frost as Ed, and Bill Nighy as Philip. Yeah, I was kind of glad we did this one. I know we did Shaun of the Dead at first, and I want to point out I put my nunchucks from my Shaun of the Dead outfit are hanging
Yeah.
over there, give him, homeboy a little nod over here. But yeah, so
Nice.
been looking forward to talking to this one because we generally talk a lot more of there's gore in this, but more of the scarier type of zombies, and this is obviously a horror comedy. Edgar Wright, I love his style. There's just he's not just good with action, but he's good with the visuals. And he did, I mean, it's obvious. If people didn't catch it, then now you did. But the beginning of the movie, I loved how everyone was just walking around like they're, the mundane had turned them all into zombies. And once people started turning into zombies, it was hard to differentiate who were the dead and who were the alive, because these were the saddest people I've seen, right from the beginning. The guy pushing the cart, like he was just, and so I had looked at it and I was like, so he's doing, giving a little Romero here by, showing that
Clearly, yeah.
yeah, everyone, our lives with having to go to work and the routines have just turned us all to zombies. And, even sitting there, listening to the music, that one group that are walking, it was kind of like, and I didn't notice that like probably the first couple times I watched it, but when I was watching it last night, that's when it first, I'm like, holy shit, how did I like miss the beginning, how he made it look like these people, their lives, they basically were
Yeah.
walking around. So did you catch that yourself?
Well, absolutely. I saw this in the theater, obviously, so right off the bat, I caught it. That's the whole theme of the film. It's like, I love how like the two mornings parallel one another as if nothing is different to Shaun. He gets up, like you said, it's very mundane. He's going to work, retail job. I mean, obviously, if you
Yeah.
work retail, bro, it's like the worst, man. So the fact that he can't tell the difference between one morning to the next. One morning, everyone's alive and just pretty much brain dead, going through the motions. Like you said, 9 to 5s, everything is formulaic, everything is routine. The next morning, the zombie apocalypse has commenced. They're still doing the same shit. So everything, he's still oblivious to the outside world and everything that's going on around him. And it's beautiful. And you talk about the Edgar Wright style. I mean, clearly he was influenced by Sam Raimi. A lot of Sam Raimi type cinematography in this, especially with the fast camera whips and pans. clearly a fan of Romero too, with a lot of the quick cutting, and I love how he was very respectful towards like George's material as far as Dawn of the Dead primarily, but still kept it very British. Like
Oh,
that's to me the best thing about this film, that he didn't compromise. He kept it very British. So a lot of the jokes are gonna fly over a lot of people's heads. It took me a few. Well, I saw this movie tons of times. Saw it again last night, and I always catch something like, oh, now that I know what this means, now I understand what it means. Because when I first saw this, I didn't understand these jokes, but years later, watching other British, whether it's film, TV, podcast, whatever it is, you pick up on the slangs, on the jokes, and then you watch it again. Now it clicks. And yeah, man, I loved everything about that, and the parallels between humans and like life and death. It's George did it in Dawn, in the mall. Everyone in the mall. I mean, when I worked in the mall, I used to go in the morning, and I used to look around and say to myself, wow, like all these walkers, and that's when the old people were going there for exercise, just walking around the mall. And I'm looking at them like, God dang, George saw this years ago. Like, these motherfuckers are walking around like they're zombies. Like, this is all they do. So I loved how Edgar and Simon Pegg kept that theme within their film, but made it their own. They added their own little element to it, as far as what they're adding to the horror genre. And zombie comedy is hard. What I loved about it is the comedy was centered around Shaun and his pals, as opposed to the zombies. The zombies were scary. The zombies were. There's only one part on here I didn't like with the zombies. I'll get to it later if I come across. No big deal. But it's a little pet peeve I got with zombie movies. Zack Snyder does it all the time. But other than that, I liked that the comedy was centered on Shaun, and the zombies were kept to themselves. They were just put in these outlandish situations, but it wasn't the zombies making the jokes. It was the humans. So that's cool.
well, and what I also learned was a new word, shambolic. We call them shamblers.
Yeah,
But when the news guys shambolic, I'm like,
you know, I think I wrote that
like-
shit in my notes, actually. I caught that too. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's slow and shambolic. I
Shambolic.
pull out
I'm
my
like-
ass off. Yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, we call them shamblers. So I guess over in the UK, they're shambolic.
But again, that's what George always referred to them as. So I guarantee you that was thrown in there,
So-
because later on during a newscast too, there's other movies, because they mentioned it. One fact or one theory, it could have been caused by a raging monkey, and we all know where that's from, right? I
Yep.
caught that here for
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time, so that's cool.
But yeah, so then, of course, as we said, spoiler alerts here, but the zombie outbreak starts to happen, and Shaun decides to come up with a bunch of plans. All the plans included still the beginning part, and that was go rescue mom, kill stepfather Philip, go get Liz, and then find a place that they can smoke, drink, and be well guarded.
But bro, think about that. Isn't that the greatest? Like, it's like apocalypse. Just hit up to a bar, have knock a few back,
Listen, if something like that
Wait for
happens,
everything to blow over.
if something like that happens, I'm definitely heading to some supermarket so I can have, and it has to be one of those that has alcohol, like beer, wine, everything.
Yeah.
But so they come up with this brilliant but stupid plan, and just before we dive into the movie, because we got to think about our own bad luck sometimes and the way shit happens for us. Would you have gone and done the same thing and try to rescue your family and friends?
I think I would, because I mean, when the shit hits the fan like this, the first thing you would think of is to go home. Check out, make sure everyone's okay. I'm assuming that's what I would do. I think that's what I would do. I don't think I would go run off on my own and leave everybody behind, because you want to be with the most people possible. And so no, I don't think it would. I mean, I would have gone to mom first as opposed to Liz and those clowns. You know what I'm saying? Especially after she dumped your ass. But I understand. I understand it. I get it. So yeah, I would have. You wouldn't save your brothers and your sisters and your moms.
So this is a tough one, only because horror movies are basically the blueprint on how to survive shit, and most of them show you that these plans don't work out well. So part of me would be like, nah, you can come to me. If you know me well enough, I'm going to set up the place to try to protect it better. So you can come to me. But the human side of me would have probably, and the dumbass side of me would have gone out and tried to do it. I would feel bad
I
sitting.
think you would. I
you
know
know,
you would.
I would. And obviously it all depends, on the individuals. I won't rescue everyone.
By the way, that scene where they're talking about their plans to rescue their loved ones, done to perfection,
hmm
using the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack. Dun, 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 dun.
It was. I thought
It's beautiful, bro.
this
They kept
movie.
playing it over and over, and every time I heard that music, I'm like, oh, the Dawn music, yes.
And you can tell that Edgar also loved zombie movies.
Oh,
So I mean,
absolutely. One
because he's
second,
showing his love. Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit here. Adam, hey guys, my first time seeing it tonight, and it was absolutely ridiculous. Good thing they got the slow type of zombies, and poor David had the most painful death. Shout out to the homage to Captain Rhodes. I will talk about that later. I'm glad you pointed that out, Adam. Though he may have deserved it. Yeah, he was a toolbox. And I dreamed to join the Beer Brothers one day on Brains and Brews night. Well, you know what? We'll have to make an exception, but no promises. Don't worry about that.
Hey, I've done a Brains and Brews introducing a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, hell yeah, you did. Simon and Edgar are awesome together. You have to see Paul. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
There's only one. I can't believe I haven't even seen this movie. World's End is the only Edgar Wright film I've never seen.
Oh, so
And
you
that's-
haven't
And that's part of the
The,
Hot Fuzz, Shaun, and
the
that's the third one.
Coronado? Is it Coronado trilogy?
I forgot.
Something. Yeah.
Another movie they did, not scary but sci-fi. It was so funny. That's Paul was the alien, right? That's
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, who was the
Yeah.
voice of Paul.
Yeah.
I would try to save them, but it's survival of the yeah, it is survival of the fittest.
Like that's all right. That's what you have to think about, because so here's the thing: we've seen The Walking Dead, so you want to have a group of people to survive with you that's going to help you survive. And if you've got that, I don't know, one family member or a couple of friends that they can't run a block, probably not gonna come and help you. I'm gonna help out people that are gonna be able to keep up and be able to
Bro,
like
let's be
actually
real. I'll be
fight
that
off
guy.
horde.
I'll
you
be
know.
the liability. I would want to be Peter from Dawn of the Dead, but I'm most likely David in the center. I'll be useless.
I mean, but yeah, that would be like my if I had to think about it, I'd be like, all right, I gotta get some strong people who I know are not gonna have a problem, killing some friend or family member that got turned into a zombie. They got to be able to run, and they got to be able to carry shit. It's very minimal stuff that I'm gonna need here. So, yeah, I guess that would be my thing. But yeah, as basically the plan starts going awry, and like we'll get into the meat and bones of this movie, because it's as you said, the comedic was to the characters, and then you had the horror. So like any parts of this movie that just really stick out to you, like it doesn't have to be zombie, doesn't have to be gore, little things, just anything, because this movie there's a lot you can talk about, and we don't rate the movie, guys, by the way. This is not a rate like we do on the other ones. It's just a discussion on it.
Real quick, just to get the gore out of the way, since Rose had brought it up. No, it was Adam. Adam brought it up. I apologize about David's death. Captain Rhodes from Day of the Dead, his brutal kill, when they devoured him by ripping him in half, choke on him. So of course, Edgar played it in this film. I just didn't like when the legs and limbs popped off. That was like a little too cheesy. I just
See,
I don't know. Like, why would that happen like that? I don't know. That was really, again, that's a little nitpick.
I will say, well, I had to, I was starting to get ready, so I'm like, fuck, I left the movie playing so he can watch it. And when it got to that scene, all I hear is like, oh no, they're getting him. Oh no, poor David. Oh no, there were his legs. I'm in the bathroom. Like, it's not even the movie.
He said there goes his legs?
Yes, when they like go back. The reaction was exactly what you would want out of this kind of. The bathroom, dying laughing at this. It just to see someone's reaction, because it should have been, but it was done comedically right.
There's a lot of stuff that sticks out too. Like, I love the homages. Like, I love the fact that Shaun works at Foray Electronics. That's shout out to Ken Foray, who plays Peter in the original Dawn of the Dead, our hero of the film. And even like the actors, man, like I didn't like the voice actor who portrayed Darth Maul in the Phantom Menace. He's in a lot of James Gunn's films. I forgot. It's Peter something. I apologize. I forgot his last name. It's Sanko Witch or something like that. But anyway,
it's hard. Yeah.
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He was. What's the roommate's name again?
Peter.
No, Peter's his real name.
Oh.
What's his character? Don't worry about it. But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
the guy who he hated Ed. You know, when he's in it. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. And I swear to you, this is the first time I've noticed this. Fucking Martin Freeman was in this fucking. Jesus Christ, this whole time, and he played the fake Shaun. No line. I think he had one line as he passed by Liz.
Yeah,
that
like,
was
hello.
it. And interesting enough, the girl who played Yvonne in this movie, we just saw her in Death of a Unicorn. You know, she played, I think her name was Ash or something. I forgot, but she was the head of security for the rich people.
Nice.
She's the one that got taken. You know, if you haven't seen that movie, sorry, but whatever. I like a lot of little touches and homages to a lot of films in this movie as far as the genre, and it's done very respectfully, and that's what I like about it. They didn't just take it and just made fun of it. They took it and celebrated it, which whether it was some of the music and sound cues. I mean, the start of the film starts off with a sound cue from Dawn of the Dead. Jesus Christ, that's all I need to hear. You know what I mean? So, that's the one thing that really sticks out from this film. That it was great scenes and a lot of foreshadowing. You know, I love that stuff. You know, with Ed in the bar, you pretty much foreshadowed the entire film.
Oh, yeah.
And its events, you know, mentioning let's have a Bloody Mary, and the very next morning they see Mary in their backyard. They bloody her up, kill the queen. You know, the queen was, you know, they were playing Queen and they had to kill the queen. You know, they had to turn the jukebox off. So, and I think even Philip had a little reference there, and of course that happens later. It's awesome. One thing I would say, watching it again, Ed is a horrible friend, dude.
He is.
Jesus Christ. I mean, he cared enough. You could tell he really did love Shaun. He cared, but that not a good influence. I believe everything his roommate was telling him, that motherfucker, and Liz. You got Liz, and you'd rather like spend time with this guy than her. I don't know, but I love the fact that they were playing the video games. And that's a sign of the times right there, dude. And again, one thing I found hilarious, and I'm going to throw it to you after this. I loved when they were throwing the music around, the Batman soundtrack. Nope. I thought of you, man. I thought of you.
I felt bad for the Batman soundtrack.
It wasn't that bad. It was Prince, right? Prince did that one, right?
Yeah, and what is it? The Dire Straits. I'm like, oh no. What is it? Money for nothing, but your chicks for free.
And the Z word. They hate the Z word. Don't say it. Say what? That word. The Z word. Zombie. Don't say it. How about you, man?
Sorry, I got a tickle at the wrong time there.
And Shaun also said, join us. Obviously, a homage to Evil Dead. So I caught that for the first time, surprisingly.
I mean, for me, what I right in the beginning, as you said, the next morning when Shaun is just walking, you're seeing like a dead person, another person, all these things that are just happening in the background as he's just got his head down, heading, to get the soda and what was it, Coronado or something like that.
The ice cream, right?
Yeah, the ice cream.
My man bought a can of soda and an ice cream at like probably 6, 7 in the morning or some shit.
Yeah, and still didn't have enough money either. He did not have enough money for that, but
when you saw the zombie clerk later, he's asking for the money, like, he's holding his hand out.
And
Nice
so
touch.
I thought it was great how like it's just basically showing you that we weren't dealing with somebody. Yes, he did turn out to be superhero-ish towards the end, but not really, because he was the one that was given to the gun. He never, I think maybe like 2 shots were good.
I'm glad he brought that up. He was a terrible shot. He said it too.
Yeah, but nobody else could step up, so he was the only one doing it. The movie, yes, he had his moments of hero, but he was still a slacker. Like, and when he would try, something would fail. I mean, and as a person who's clumsy, and I would just see a lot of bad stuff happening to me in this situation.
Yeah, and I love how he gets caught in lies, because he pauses and like, yeah, I fucked up. Like when he said, I thought you gave him the slip. He goes, they follow me.
And he was, and that's the whole thing. Your main protagonist was still shit. There was a word I had and it escaped me, but he wasn't perfect. He never became perfect, you know. And I love that
fallible, you know.
Fallible. That's the word that was literally. Thank you. I was like, shit. It was just there, and it disappeared on me. It just when the bar owner shows up, and I told Adam, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I know I hate when people do this to me, but you just gotta watch this scene. It is so ridiculous. And you're gonna be bobbing your head.
I love Queen too.
And they're just hitting him on beat. And not one person's just gonna stop, take the stick and go through the head. Yeah. They just keep pounding and going around. And like I'm hearing him laugh because, like I said, I had to like run out so I can get ready. And he's like, this is so ridiculous. And I'm like, it's ridiculous in a good way, though, right? He goes, it is. Yeah, and like he says, he appreciates the British humor. If anybody was going to get this, I knew he was going to get it. But it's just watching that the movie, while it had its serious moments, never took itself serious at the same time.
No, not at all. Yeah.
He kept the fact that the characters were still somewhat ridiculous, and even at the end, when when Shaun is, I still had the same person at least. Yeah. But when Shaun is sitting there talking to Liz, and he's like, "What, you think I took you back?" Yeah. It's like even all the way to the end, this guy, the world is ending, and you're still at this point like, seriously? So I just showed up to save you, and you're not going to take me? Like, the guy never looked at it. He remained the slacker because he never looked at a bigger picture. Mm-hmm. His picture remained on his girlfriend, who he still took to the Winchester, because I love she hung up on him, for the date.
He's like, the Winchester?
Yeah, she's like, he's supposed to plan this big date and couldn't get the date, which is the apocalypse is happening at this point, though, so she didn't know. Yeah. So that's another thing. Poor Shaun. She got pissed off at him about that, but Shaun wasn't going to be able to get a reservation anywhere. They would have been dinner, if anything. Yeah. But still, like, the fact that it still kept it all the way to the end. Her reasoning for breaking up with him is exactly how she ended up. When she's like, he goes, "What's the plan for the day?" "Well, we can do tea." She's doing all the stuff that Ed.
She's happy. Yes.
It basically was all the stuff that him and Ed were doing, but now Ed doesn't live there, and neither does the roommate. But and then having Ed at the end. I mean, I'm glad that they didn't go and give us an explanation how Shaun was able to get Ed out of the bar and then bring him to the shed. But I thought it was, I thought it was cute and funny, like, to see that he's still keeping him around and playing the game.
Yeah, speaking of games too, again, a big influence, and you could tell Edgar Wright's a huge video game fan and player. He's a video game enthusiast, because a lot of the shots here, other than Shaun and Ed playing video games, like even when Shaun has the rifle and it goes into that POV mode, it looks like a video game, like a first-person shooter, So I love stuff like that. And then at the end with what was that kid's name? Edwin Martinez, who saved his family. He had the shotgun. That shit was hilarious. Oh, by the way, the guy who played, I think it's Nelson's his name. The guy who kept telling him, "You got red on you." The slacker from that's Ralph Spall. He became a really good actor. Lost a lot of weight. Yep. He was Prometheus and The Ritual, two of the films I really know him from. So, and he's in tons of other things too. But it's funny going back and watching him here. I'm like, oh my god, look how young this guy looks. He looks completely different. Oh wow, that was a good shout there. Another thing too, when it comes down to one of the scenes I like, when Mary is in the backyard, and they're all like, oh my god, like who is this? What's going on? Like, you're thinking they're seeing a zombie, but then Shaun's like, she's so drunk. They think she's drunk. But I'll be honest, I probably would have thought the same. You see the way she was like, you're not gonna think it's a zombie, you know what I'm saying? So it was so subtle. But it's like, holy shit, it makes so much fucking sense, man. Like, why they would think that. And again, one of the better practical effects here. I don't think it was CGI, but it was somehow mirrored. Anyway, when they shot the hole through her, and then you could see them through the hole, and they're like, their reaction's priceless, man.
What? Well,
Could
so
have been
are
CGI.
you
I
talking
don't
about
know.
when they were fighting Mary?
When they stabbed her, she has a hole
So
through her.
yeah,
How
because
did
when
that?
when they knocked her over, she landed on a pipe.
No, I know that. How did
No,
the filmmakers
well, I
do it?
don't know
Oh, okay,
because
okay.
the thing is, it made me think of, and I
Oh,
think it was
dude,
Robert
Jesus
Zemeckis.
Christ. I have I remember watching the one thing I miss about like physical media, they don't come with enough like special features, bro. This DVD is chock full of shit. I remember watching it. They do explain that scene, but for the life of me, I can't recall how they did that. But I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, that's pretty simple, and it looks good."
Well, and they did that in Death Becomes Her. If you've never seen that one,
The
that's I think
80s film
I
or
think it's
90s, early 90s, right?
maybe no, maybe early. Yeah, it has Meryl Streep,
Meryl Streep.
Bruce Willis, and Goldie
yeah.
Hawn.
Yeah.
So in the movie,
Oh, I gotta
Meryl
find
Streep's
out now.
character shoots Goldie Hawn
Yeah.
through the stomach,
Yeah.
and when she stands up, you get the shot from the other side of both of them. So when you saw that shot, both of us were like, "Oh, that's
There
Death
you go.
Becomes Her." That's a good because that technically
92.
is a zombie movie
1992.
because they're dead. You know, they're basically dead. Their bodies fall apart if they don't take care of it. So yeah, there's a scene when it does that.
Yeah.
It made me think
Good
of that.
shout.
Which was
That's a good
yeah.
shout.
I thought that's the only thing I thought about was
Well, I mean, let's be real, man. I'm pretty sure that effect, or was used in probably some Italian horror film we've never seen. Like,
yeah, that's true. Probably haven't seen it yet.
but here, Adam, I forgot to say, I loved it, and yeah, Juan's not saving his mom. Yeah, I think he will. Oh my god.
Jesus, Adam.
Oh my god. Fighting records to save themselves was hilarious. Oh, flinging records. Yeah, that was great. I love how Shaun got so frustrated. Fuck this. I'm gonna go to the shed. I thought you don't got the keys. Just kick the fucking door down. Well, they didn't kick it. He slammed into it. Oh, man. And, but in Juan, that's Joe.
That's me.
Shaun didn't save his mother either. He saved Ed.
That is true. He
That
did
is
not keep
true.
his mom.
His mom.
And I thought, it's funny because when they were going back to when they were showing his plan, every time that they he kept repeating the plan. It didn't look like it was the same shots. Like it looked like all of them still looked a little bit different.
They kept updating it, yeah.
Because the mom looked more enjoyable after a while. So that was another. Yeah, you have brought that up. I thought that as far as the way he kept saying it, and it's just going, and you kept hearing, "Sorry, Philip," before they get smash his head.
Yeah,
in.
what was it, like a paddle for a paddle
cricket.
boat, a cricket bat. Yeah,
cricket,
yes.
yep.
Bonk.
Well, Bill Nye,
Bill Nye,
he's
God.
been in so much stuff,
You don't even
and
have to mention it. You're right. Yeah, so much.
and when that's again,
He played this role to perfection.
he did, and when sometimes, and there was another movie that we reviewed that I told you I had the same effect where you just got to listen to how people were reacting to it. But the scene when they're in the car and he tells Shaun that he loves him, and I'm like sitting here and I hear Adam going, "Aw, and like you hear, he's like, "Oh no, he died," and then all of a sudden then I hear him go,
twice.
"Yeah," he goes, "Yeah, pull over, throw him out of the car." It's like, this is what is great about cinema when you hear it's the same reaction you yourself had when you watched it. You lose those, but listening to someone's first time reaction, you're reminded, because again, even when I saw it again 2 times now, because it was 2 days, it was a sweet moment because Shaun all this time thought that his father hated him, Philip.
Yeah.
And it turned out he loved them, but he was just trying to be a positive role model. And myself being a stepfather, I completely understood how he, what he was trying to explain, that he just was trying, he's trying to be.
Him.
Yeah.
Him,
He did. And I think it was
He
one of
wasn't
those
just blowing
like, I'm dying. Let me let you know that I have not hated you. Like I actually look. And then he goes, "That's my good boy," and then dies. Which, by the way, when he goes, "That's my good boy," though, I did think of Babe, and I can't remember what the old guy
The Pig movie.
the pig movie when he goes, "That's a good pig." I thought about that scene for some reason. Like any other like little scenes in there or like shots or you know you want to hit on?
I do like when they were trying to pretend to be zombies and they were kind of auditioning in a sense. Of course, Shaun would be the best one. Like, and Ed, his chimpanzee like impersonation was pretty much what he looked like at the end when he was a zombie. Like he was.
And that was not a good impersonation of Clyde either. I totally remember the movie that he's talking about, and no, not at all.
Yeah, watching it again, I'm like, God, Ed is obnoxious. How can Shaun stand up here around this guy? Like, I mean, I love when he was at the bar though. He was like, "Come on, man, like, let's just fucking get drunk, forget what happened to Liz." I was like, okay, you know what?
Your boy is crying in front of you, man.
They do got good taste in music, though. I will say.
When that song comes on, I was just like, "That's the worst song you can probably hear after you just got dumped."
Like,
no, I thought, but I thought that like when he's sitting there, like his eyes are all like swelled from tears, and you're like, come on, like no, Ed is a horrible friend.
Yeah, he was
like
terrible.
And the fact that he kept him. Yes, you're right, Adam. He should have kept his mom. I love you too, Mom. Don't listen to what Adam said earlier. But yeah, like Ed was one of these, and hey, Nick Frost did a great job on getting you to laugh at a character, but at the same time dislike the character.
Yeah. I didn't hate Ed. I think he was perfectly written for the emotion they were trying to convey out of that character. He was there as a proxy, pretty much, to get Shaun to fix his fucking life. He was the anchor holding Shaun back. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he needed to be that abrasive, and annoying in order for the character to work. So I love the character. I just horrible friend.
Yeah, I mean,
he's so weird though.
Well, and then the phone call that he got was Shaun's co-worker calling
was
for
it?
Yes. Yes.
The guy Nelson, you got red on you. That guy?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't catch that. That's his voice, you think?
It was Adam who caught it, and then I'm like sitting there going, wait a minute. It kind of makes a little bit sense because I could have sworn that he had said something about having to make a call for something, and then Ed gets the phone call later on.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it was and here's the other part is that granted it was much later, but when fucking Diane, after David gets it and she opens the door and lets all the zombies, like I'm sitting there going, oh god, it's just like it happened in Sinners when all the vampires just came in. Granted, Sinners came out much later. However,
that's probably homage to Night, right? Barbara, when her death, when she got into like a sea of fucking zombies and shit.
Well, because
I kind of wish they would have showed what happened to her though. Hers at least came back as a zombie.
Well, hers was because we mentioned about Barbara. Hers, she was just like, and whereas Diane's character just ran right into it. Like it was ridiculous because you just like listen. You just watched your man
torn apart.
dismembered.
She's like, David,
I'm coming for you. What are you gonna help? You just flung his leg off to the side to go rescue him. All right, so let's go ahead and rate our beers.
Let's do it up.
All right, so this isn't obviously the stuff that I normally drink, so it is still good. Now, on the levels of the higher stuff that I've done, it's not up there, but for what I was looking for, which is what I'm going to rate that on, is the fact it's for an all-day IPA. I'm going to give it a 4. Maybe it's just going to take me a little time.
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. Oh, yeah. I apologize. If this is your first time watching, I totally went on like you've seen this before. If you haven't, go ahead and check out our other episodes.
Before you give your score. Go. Finish your thought. I'm going to throw a couple comments.
Before, check out our other episodes. Also, check out our reviews for 3 Corners of Horrors. We just did Sinner. But, I mean, we rate our beer as a 6-pack. So, yeah, this is a 4-pack for me.
4-pack. All right. Well, before I give my score, I caught the death becomes a reference to Joe. There you go.
See?
Yep. Adam, poor Shaun can't hit anything important. I gotta show this film to Kaylee and Brian. Oh, they haven't seen it? Yeah.
Oh, they'll love
You're-
it.
You're doing them a disservice from keeping this gem from them. Share the love. Yeah, my beer. Interesting. I'm gonna go so far. I'm gonna do a 4 out of 6 as well. It's not bad. I like it. I need more time with it to really understand.
And cold.
And have it cold. It's just warm, but it doesn't taste the same to me. But it's not a bad taste. It's not nasty or nothing. So let me take one sip just to reassure the score.
I'll take a sip of mine with you.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it. I'll be honest. It's not as tasty as other beers that I had, but it's also, it doesn't leave like a bad aftertaste. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you take a sip of beer, it tastes good, but as soon as you drink it, then you really taste like, ooh, I don't like it. This one, it's good. I like it. So 4 out of 6 for me too so far on this one. This is again RI Coastal Access IPA. It's a Rejects Beer Company, Rhode Island beer company. So I like. It's not local, but it's local enough. You know, it's what, New England.
New
Rhode
England.
Island is New England. Yeah.
Yeah. This is New
Absolutely.
England.
So
Well, and again, mine was the Kona Big Wave Liquid Aloha, and also with those, they also make one of those variety packs.
oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love variety packs.
That you said you're looking for some all days with the variety pack. 2 of the that are in the variety pack, they also sell as like the 12 pack and the 6 pack. The other ones you can't get as the 6 pack or 12 pack. At least I've not been able to find them.
Hey, you're a beer aficionado. What's a spritzer? I almost bought that, but I didn't notice at the last second. I read it. Wait, whoa, spritzer. What's that? I'm
I
putting
think
it back.
Spritzer
Is it
has
like,
like tonic water or some
yeah,
type
yeah.
of it's got some type of tonic or
It
what's
was
the
like a
other bubbly.
6.2 IPA, right?
Oh,
Awesome
wait a minute.
can, awesome artwork. Had the skeleton on the cover, almost like radioactive. But then I saw spritzer. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to take a chance.
I
on
mean,
this.
that's what I think of a spritzer. Is usually
Me too.
involving a clear
I
liquid
thought it was
with
tonic
bubbles.
too. Yeah.
Tonic. That's the other
Like-
one I couldn't think
yeah,
about.
yeah. Like seltzer, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, but those are two. They are still 2 different ones. But
You're right.
I knew there was a second one. I couldn't get it.
Tonic.
Well, so as far as, because if you watch Thursdays, we didn't have what we were going to be doing on Thursday. So Thursday night, make sure to check out 3 Corners of Horror. We will be doing Companion, which is streaming on Max currently. And as far as us, well, next month, and again, the live Brains and Brews is only at the end of the month, but we are going to be doing 28 weeks later. We've already done 28 days later, so we have to obviously do 28 weeks because 28 years will be coming soon, and
It's
you
been
can
forever.
rest
I've
assured
seen it.
that we are going to have our Brains and Brews episode on 28 years later. So, Rick, any last minute thoughts before we sign out of here?
But before you we bounce out. By the way, there was a Fangoria reference. I think it was a magazine that was in Shaun. I love Fangoria, so I always had to bring that up. But do you want to announce what's going to be upcoming for your movies that fucked me up? Your next one?
Oh, yep. For that one, that is a viewer request. I will be discussing what fucked me up about the movie The Woman.
The Woman, upcoming. What's that? A couple weeks from now? Not
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Nice. Horror Film Driving Theater also returns in a few weeks. That's going to be covering Humanoids from the Deep. We're going back to 1980. So let's talk some schlocky aquatic creature features, my brother. So anything you want to go out with? I'm good.
Well, not just that. Make sure to check out on May 11th. It's Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And we will be dropping our holiday horror Mother's Day episode. So, yep, make sure to check in for that episode. But yeah, that is going to be our Sunday schedule. And, you know, as far as me, I'm good, bro.
I'm good too, brother. Take us home, bro.
All right.
Oh, wait. Someone else. Oh, Lexi. Hold on. Love you guys. Good night. Thank you for tuning in, Lexi. Appreciate it. 80s babies.
Of
yeah,
course.
we are. We are 80s babies. All right, thank you for that, Mother Dearest. Wait, wait. Joe, you see that
Mommy
movie, Mother
Dearest.
Dearest?
I fucking love Mommy Dearest. Oh
I
wait,
knew you were gonna say that.
well not Mother, it's Mommy Dearest, but I fucking love that.
I know what that. I know what she meant.
Oh, yeah.
All
That
right,
is
man.
kind of a horror, but it's not in the horror that we normally watch. But yeah, with that, make sure to check out, follow, hit subscribe if you have not. Thank you for joining us here Sunday night. We look forward to next month you joining us and obviously joining us on Thursday. With that, make sure you don't get bit, motherfuckers.
Don't get
Out.
bit. Good night. Peace out. Drink beer and watch horror movies. And stay scared.
Guessing these devils be savages. Slim than a chance with the averages. Sitting on the low like you added slick. Darkness make you disappear like a magic trick. Pull up to the table, come down and sit. These devils try to tie you the crown with it. Now you surrounded by counterfeits, trying to chop you up into 1,000 bits.